Brutalist architecture. Some people love it, others think it's the ugliest thing humans ever built. But behind those giant blocks of raw concrete was a philosophy, a way of thinking about honesty, function, and society. Hi, I'm Mahsa, and today we'll dive into brutalism, where it came from, what it stood for, and why it still matters. After World War II, European cities were in ruins. Millions needed homes, quickly and cheaply. Architects asked, how can we rebuild honestly, without wasting time or resources on decoration? Enter brutalism. From the French word béton brut, pardon my French, meaning raw concrete. It wasn't about being brutal. It was about being direct, showing materials as they are. One huge influence was Le Corbusier unit d'habitat in Marseille. Again, pardon my French. A concrete vertical city built in 1952. It was bold, raw, but full of utopian energy. Homes, shops, even a rooftop playground, all in one slab. Meanwhile, in Britain, Alison and Peter Smithson pushed what they called the new brutalism. Their Hunstanton school left pipes and beams fully exposed. No cover-ups, no frills, just honesty. So, what was the philosophy? Let's break it down. First one is honesty in materials. Don't hide what the building is made of. Concrete looks like concrete. Steel looks like steel. Pipes, ducts, beams, all visible. The structure itself is the aesthetic. Number 2. Form follows function. Buildings should look the way they work. A council chamber, a staircase, an apartment block. Their shape should make sense from the outside. No fake facades, no ornaments. 3. Social utility. Brutalism wasn't just a style. It was a social mission. Many projects were public housing, universities, libraries, city halls. The Smithsons talked about streets in the sky. Elevated walkways meant to recreate the community feel of Old Street. Architecture wasn't decoration, it was supposed to shape society. Number 4. Rejection of ornament. Brutalists thought decoration was dishonest and wasteful. In their eyes, a building should be judged by how well it works, not by how pretty its surface is. This mix of ideals gave brutalism its heavy, geometric, often intimidating look. But for its creators, that wasn't the point. The point was truth and purpose. The philosophy showed up in some of the most iconic post-war projects. One of them was the Barbican Estate in London. Thousands of apartments, gardens, and a cultural center, all in massive concrete slabs. The idea was a complete environment for urban life. Another one is Boston City Hall. Bold concrete volumes making the functions of government visible from outside. A people's palace, at least in theory. Next one is Habitat 67 in Montreal, a utopian experiment in modular concrete housing, giving each apartment a garden and a view. Every one of these buildings was designed with philosophy first. Honesty, function, social purpose. But here's the twist. The public didn't always see it that way. By the 1970s and 80s, many people found brutalist buildings cold, grey, even oppressive. Concrete stained and cracked housing estates fell into disrepair. Some projects, like Robin Hood Gardens in London, became symbols of failure and were eventually demolished. The word brutalist itself sounded harsh, and the backlash was fierce. Yet, in recent years, there's been a revival. Younger generations and design lovers see beauty in the rawness, the geometry, the ambition. Instagram accounts celebrate concrete poetry. Preservationists fight to save landmarks. Some buildings, like the Barbican, are now highly desirable places to live. So, what can we learn from the philosophy of brutalism? At its heart, brutalism was about courage. The courage to be honest about materials, to design for function, and to believe architecture could make society better. Not every project succeeded. Some were too harsh, some were poorly maintained, some never lived up to the utopian ideas. But brutalism asked big questions. Should architecture be about beauty or about truth? Should buildings please the eye or serve the people? Even if you hate the look of concrete towers, you can't deny their ambition. They remind us that architecture is never just about walls and roofs. It's about values, about what kind of world we're trying to build. And maybe that's Brutalism's greatest legacy. It forces us to think about what we want architecture to stand for. So next time you pass one of those massive concrete blocks, take a moment, look past the gray, think about the honesty, the ideals, and the bold belief that architecture could shape a better future.